what is the book's purpose? I said the book's purpose is to educate and inform others on the author's personal experience and her having a stroke, and to educate others on the brain in general.
Are there charities or organizations soliciting change? There are organizations that have been working with and for stroke victims to get better treatment options and get help with their rehab. There's also been organizations that have been really focusing on getting people more knowledgeable about strokes and exactly how they work and function, and just getting people more knowledgeable. Stroke.org is a place, is a website that has an organization that is working to bring attention to stroke victims, and they have been working on this for several years just to help stroke victims and really just get people more understanding of stroke victims. There's other organizations that have been really working to get treatment options more available and getting them more accessible for victims who may not have the best insurance or aren't in an area that is really good for, stroke victims.
Okay, so for my second question, it was, for what occasion or because of what circumstances is the book written? And I said it was because the author, Jill Bolte Taylor, who was a professor and researcher at Harvard Medical School, experienced a stroke in the left hemisphere of her brain caused by a major hemorrhage. And I think that having this stroke really helped open her eyes to the fact of how the brain really works in ways that she didn't know before. And I think the main purpose of writing this book is to inform others, stroke victims or stroke survivors, and even healthcare workers, so they can learn more about the brain through her first experience. And I think the occasion is really just her stroke, and she's using her stroke to inform readers about strokes that they might not have known from a textbook or a professor or any of that. So I just really think her having the stroke is the main occasion for why the book was written. The occasion of why the book was written, on page 7, she says, I woke up on December 10th, 1996, to discover that I had a brain disorder of my own. I was having a stroke. Within 4 brief hours, I watched my mind completely deteriorate in its ability to process all stimulation coming in through my senses. This rare form of hemorrhage rendered me completely disabled, whereby I could not walk, talk, read, write, or recall any aspects of my life. And I just think this goes back to show that this really happened to her, and this is exactly why she wrote the book, so she can use her experience for future reference for other stroke victims or like healthcare workers, and to show what she learned from her experience. And this is really, I think this really shows why she wrote the book.
How are ideas developed? In My Stroke of Insight, Dr. Jill Taylor develops her main ideas by connecting her knowledge as a brain scientist with her personal stories of having a stroke. The connection between science and experience helps her explain the medical side and her recovery, but also the personal side of what she went through. Taylor also shows the method that she made to handle her left brain's negative thoughts. She sets aside time to whine and is challenged by self-critical thinking. These methods help her strengthen her right brain's focus on living more in the present.
So I definitely think that change, it's really not in order for this topic. There needs to be a stronger impact and more done for people to be able to understand how how strokes function and work. Like I said before, I don't think people are very aware of this topic, or if it hasn't happened to somebody around them or themselves, they're not gonna be worried about it, which is fine, but I feel like people need to be more educated on it, just because it could happen to anyone. It's not just a certain group of people. This could happen to anyone at any time in their life. So I think, and also I feel like that'd be important to learn early on, throughout school, so that way you have that, because I'm pretty sure it's more, for adults, it's more likely to happen. So I do think that is something that people need to be educated on regardless. So I feel like that change is not necessarily in order, but it needs to be in the near future.